Imagine a world that suddenly grinds to a halt. No cars on the highways, no planes in the sky, and no ships crossing the vast oceans. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie. It's a reality we would face without a single, thick, black liquid. Every single day, our global civilization devours over 100 million barrels of this substance. We call it black gold, the silent lifeblood of modern trade, industry, and human connectivity. But this ordinary-looking liquid hides a journey of millions of years and a manufacturing process so complex that even a minor mistake can trigger a global catastrophe. To understand how your car moves, we must first go back to a time long before humans existed. 300 million years ago, the Earth looked nothing like it does today. There were no continents as we know them, only a massive landmass surrounded by shallow, ancient seas. In these waters, billions of microscopic organisms, plankton and algae, lived and died. When they perished, their remains sank to the ocean floor. In the crushing darkness of the deep, where oxygen is scarce, these bodies did not fully decompose. Instead, they were buried under growing layers of silt, sand, and mud. Over millions of years, the Earth's tectonic plates shifted, pushing this organic cemetery miles beneath the crust. This is where nature's pressure cooker begins its work. 2 to 4 kilometers underground, the temperature climbs to between 60 and 120 degrees Celsius. In this specific environment, known to scientists as the oil window, the intense heat and immense pressure transform ancient life into a waxy substance called kerogen. Over more millions of years, this kerogen breaks down further, finally becoming the liquid hydrocarbons we call crude oil. It is energy, locked away for eons, waiting for someone to find it. But finding this treasure is the ultimate gamble. Most of these deposits are not just sitting under our feet. They are trapped thousands of meters below the ocean floor, hidden beneath layers of solid rock. To find them, survey vessels send powerful acoustic pulses deep into the seabed. These sound waves bounce off the rock layers and return to sensors on the surface, allowing engineers to build a three-dimensional map of the subterranean world. Even with this high-tech vision, drilling a well is still a multi-million-dollar bet that could end in a dry hole. When a promising site is found, humanity builds a fortress in the middle of the ocean. These offshore drilling rigs are colossal machines, some standing on steel legs driven into the seabed, and others floating, held in place by massive chains in water depths up to 12,000 feet. On these rigs, crews work 12-hour shifts in a world of constant noise and the ever-present threat of explosion. They are trading their sweat and safety to ensure the flow of energy never stops. The actual drilling is a feat of extreme engineering. A drill string made of hundreds of 9-meter steel pipes carries a diamond-tipped bit that grinds through solid rock. To keep the bit from melting under the friction, pressurized mud is continuously pumped down, cooling the head and carrying debris back to the surface. But as the drill goes deeper, the danger grows. Deep underground, the oil and gas are under staggering pressure. If the crew loses control, this pressure can surge upward in a violent blowout, an environmental disaster that can cost billions and destroy entire ecosystems. To prevent this, a massive safety valve called a blowout preventer, or BOP, is placed at the seabed. Weighing tens of tons, this block of steel can clamp shut in an instant, containing pressures that exceed 10,000 psi. Only once the well is secured can the extraction truly begin. Initially, natural pressure forces the oil up, but as the reservoir empties, engineers must use artificial lift systems like electric submersible pumps to draw the oil to the surface. What comes out of the ground, however, is not the clear fuel you see at the gas station. It is a foul-smelling, sticky mixture of oil, gas, water, and sand. This raw black gold must travel through thousands of kilometers of pipelines or across oceans in intercontinental tankers to reach its final destination, the refinery. A refinery is a labyrinth of metal, covering square miles and processing hundreds of thousands of barrels every single day. Inside the refinery, the oil undergoes its most critical transformation, fractional distillation. It begins in a furnace where the crude oil is heated to over 370 degrees Celsius until it turns into a hot vapor. This vapor is then injected into a massive fractionating tower, several stories high. Inside the tower, the temperature is hot at the bottom and cooler at the top. As the vapor rises, different hydrocarbons condense back into liquid at different heights based on their boiling points. At the very bottom, the heaviest molecules settle, forming the bitumen used for our roads and the lubricating oils for our machines. Higher up, the vapors condense into diesel fuel and kerosene for airplanes. But in the middle of the tower, at a temperature between 90 and 220 degrees Fahrenheit, we find the prize, gasoline. From every barrel of crude oil, only a portion becomes the petrol that powers our cars.
Yet even this petrol isn't ready for your engine. It must undergo further chemical cracking to break large molecules into smaller ones and reforming to rearrange their structure. This process increases the octane number, ensuring the fuel burns smoothly and doesn't knock or damage the engine. Finally, chemical additives are mixed in to reduce emissions and keep your engine clean.
The reach of this substance goes far beyond the fuel tank. The naphtha extracted during refining is sent to petrochemical plants, where it is transformed into the plastics that make up your phone, your clothing, and even the medical equipment that saves lives. We aren't just using oil. We are living in a world built from it. From fertilizers that feed the planet to the tires on your car, petroleum is the invisible backbone of everything we touch.
Today, over 800 million vehicles rely on this flammable liquid to keep the world moving. But this journey, from microscopic ancient organisms to a high-tech fuel, is a testament to both human ingenuity and our absolute dependence. We are consuming a resource that took 300 million years to create in the blink of a geological eye. As we look to the future, the question remains, how much longer can we rely on this finite black gold before the gears of our civilization are forced to find a new way to turn? The next time you fill your tank, remember that you are holding the refined remains of a prehistoric world, brought to you by the sweat and toil of thousands who work in the shadows to keep our light on.